My landlord tried to illegally evict me, so I bought his building and evicted him instead. It started when Marcus raised my rent 40% with 2 weeks' notice. I'd been renting the same studio apartment for 3 years, always paid on time, never caused problems. The building was a dump, peeling paint, broken elevator, heat that worked maybe half the winter. But it was affordable at $800 a month, and I was saving every penny for my master's degree in social work. Market rates, Marcus said when I called to protest. His voice had that smugness of someone who'd had this conversation 100 times before. In the background, I could hear a TV blaring some talk show and what sounded like a woman crying. I can't afford $120, I said. And 2 weeks isn't legal notice. Marcus laughed, a harsh sound that made my skin crawl. Legal notice? Kid, this is my building. I can do whatever I want. You don't like it, there's the door. Good luck finding another place you can afford in this neighborhood. He paused, and I could hear him taking a drink of something. Besides, I know you college kids. Probably got rich parents anyway. Time to stop playing poor and ask daddy for money. I wanted to tell him that my parents had died in a car accident when I was 16, that I'd been working 2 jobs since high school just to survive. Instead, I hung up and started researching. I researched tenant laws all night, printing statutes and highlighting violations. Rent increases required 30 days notice and couldn't exceed 25% annually in our city. Late fees couldn't exceed 5% of monthly rent. Landlords couldn't enter units without 24-hour notice except for emergencies. What Marcus was doing violated at least 6 different housing codes. At 8 a.m., I knocked on his penthouse door, the only unit he'd actually maintained. Through the doorway, I could see granite countertops and hardwood floors that gleamed. His coffee mug said, "World's Best Landlord" in Comic Sans font. Behind him, a woman in a silk robe was cooking eggs on a stainless steel stove. He barely glanced at my legal documents. "Sue me," he laughed. "You think some broke college kid can afford a lawyer? I've been doing this for 20 years. Half my tenants don't even speak English well enough to fight back." He leaned against his doorframe, sizing me up like a predator evaluating prey. The woman behind him stopped cooking and watched our conversation with interest. "Besides, maybe try the suburbs. I hear there's a lovely trailer park about an hour away. More your speed." The woman, his wife, I assumed, giggled at this. She had the kind of laugh that suggested she'd never worried about rent in her life. That's when I realized this wasn't just about me. I started talking to other tenants that same day. Mrs. Chen, an elderly woman on the 2nd floor, showed me notices demanding she pay $800 in cleaning fees or face eviction. Her English was limited, but her fear was universal. She'd been living there for 8 years, never missed a payment. "He says my apartment dirty," she explained, showing me photos she'd taken. "But I clean every day." I show him. "Is clean." He says no, must pay or leave. The photos showed an immaculate apartment. Mrs. Chen had covered every surface with protective plastic, the way my grandmother used to do. The Ramirez family had been charged $200 for excessive utilities when their toddler got sick and they ran a humidifier for 2 weeks. They couldn't afford the fee, so Marcus had filed eviction papers. "He says we use too much electricity," Maria Ramirez explained,